Excite Truck is a really interesting time capsule back to the early Wii years, right? Where nobody knew what this console would do yet. Nobody knew what the game lineup was going to be. It felt like the console came out of nowhere. And like a juggernaut, Nintendo came in and destroyed the entire generation, right? With the best-selling console of all time, the Nintendo DS, and its sister system, the Nintendo Wii. And this, Excite Truck is a really good example as to why the Wii was such a success, right? This game is innovative, charming, fun, exciting. See, it's right there in the title, Excite Truck. And original, right? There's nothing like this on any platform, right? This game plays unlike any other racing game on the market, even today. And even now, almost 20 years later, like 18 years later, this game is a legal adult now. 18 years later, this game still holds up as a fantastic entry in the Nintendo Wii library, right? With great controls, amazing gameplay, just all around, just a fantastic experience, right? Like you cannot deny the fact that Excite Truck is an example of what made like that era of Nintendo so great, right? This came from a random developer, Monster Games, who hasn't produced anything good or relevant since Excite Truck and Excite Bots, its sequel, right? This is it kind of came out of nowhere, didn't sell all that well, wasn't that relevant, wasn't that popular. Like when you see it in demo stations, like it looked kind of choppy, it looked kind of weird. It looked like not as good as other racing games, but if you actually get it in your hands and you actually play it, you're just like, holy like you can boost whenever you want. You can like go off of ramps. Like the terrain shifts like wildly. Like the track designs aren't spectacular in this game. Like when it comes like they look really basic, right? Like the aesthetics look awful, right? They look very early 6th gen-ish, right? They look like GameCube games, right? But when you actually take into account like what they're actually doing here, right? Each track has like multiple routes, changing terrain, all these like things you can do to collect stars. This is very much unlike any other racing game, right? Because you're not trying to win, you're trying to collect stars, right? So you're going around like slamming your truck into other trucks and like just jumping off ramps and trying to like hit the ground at a good angle. Like it is endlessly fun. Right, I'm not exaggerating when I say these two games, especially the sequel, might be one of my favorite racing games ever, some of my favorite racing games ever, because they're so unique and so original, right? Like it really does feel as if like Monster Games were on the cusp of making something really great, original and innovative here, but they threw it all away to make NASCAR license games, right? Like that is such a big shame, but it's a typical for a Western studio, right? Like I wish they would come back and produce more or like do something else for Nintendo, but it is what it is, right? It's one of those situations where a company that legit has done good things for Nintendo just backstabs them for no reason, right? Well, I suppose like there was a reason for it that the game didn't catch on initially, but I think especially these days, now that like people have gotten over like the OMG realism thing, like I do think this series does have potential to be a lot more popular, right? Like this is my favorite Excite Bike series so far. You have like the simulation in Excite Bike 64, and you have like the OG Excite Bike. I do think the Monster Games duology is the best, right? Like objectively, right? These are the ones I've come back to the most. These are the ones that I put the most time into. These are the ones that I enjoy the most. Like these games are so mechanically fun that they really do deserve a lot more praise and attention than they get.